What if? What if a Kennedy dynasty was born, and onto America four brothers were sent to later change the nation? How would it have all looked? Joseph Kennedy Jr. was born July 25th, 1915 in Brookline, Massachusetts. Oldest of the Kennedy sons, Joseph served in World War II as an officer in training and flight training in the U.S. Navy. He earned wings as a naval aviator in May of 1942 and immediately sent to Britain in September of 1943. Joseph had completed 25 combat missions and was allowed to return home, but instead volunteered for Operation Aphrodite. Operation Aphrodite was planned to be just a series of bombing runs with heavily loaded aircrafts in which the crew would parachute from the aircraft before detonation. However, when the bomb planted on the Liberator detonated too early and destroyed the aircraft, it quickly killed both Joseph Kennedy and his co-pilot. What would this have looked like if he decided to come home and pursue a career in politics? By 1944, the final year of Joe's military term, he returns home and begins pursuing a career as a state senator at the age of 29. And after serving 7 years as a state senator, Joseph quickly pursues the presidential candidacy. He quickly takes over the job from Harry S. Truman. By the age of 40, he has served 4 years in the White House, and although he doesn't win another 4, the name Kennedy quickly is known through the U.S. However, Joseph Kennedy leaves the White House on the second year of the War of Vietnam and takes heavy criticism for leaving the house at such a time. However, in steps the second eldest of the Kennedy boys, John Jack Kennedy, and after his brother leaves the White House in 1960, John Kennedy quickly steps up and retains the job of President of the United States, and although he only served 2 years, he manages to get the people of America to rally behind him and his causes.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Rather interesting respect for the Kennedy family soon followed as the third eldest son, Robert, stepped up to continue the family legacy and move the nation in a simpler, peaceful direction. At the age of 38, Robert Kennedy would successfully win many Democratic primaries, but would be assassinated soon after giving a speech in the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. By this time, the Kennedy name is well known throughout the country, and furthermore, the Kennedy Three set up a dynasty in which their sons would soon follow and continue setting up a Kennedy family tradition and a Kennedy family-run powerhouse in the White House. With John and Robert both assassinated, the Kennedy name quickly shifts to the baby of the brothers, Edward Teddy Kennedy, and with the support of his older brother Joseph Jr., Teddy quickly and swiftly begins his campaign for the presidential spot, following behind his brothers John and Robert. Teddy quickly climbs the political polls and makes it past U.S. Senator all the way to the presidential spotlight, fighting all the way for benefits and health care. And as his climb through the Senate and up to the presidency, he was given the name Lion of the Floor. Teddy serves a total of 4 years in the Big House. But is that all for the Kennedy dynasty? What is left to become? So what exactly becomes of 2011? Well, you tell me.
So with Barack Obama, and for you, and for me, our country will be committed to his cause. The work begins anew. The hope rises again. And the dream lives on.
After being backed up and endorsed by Edward Kennedy, Barack Hussein Obama becomes the 44th President of the United States, and 2011 begins to quickly change and shape for the better. A health reform bill was signed. The Iraq War slowly starts to rescind after the fall of Saddam Hussein. What Joseph Kennedy Sr. was able to do within his family is and was by far a tremendous showing of political power, but also it brought a subtle sense of family into the mix, bringing these four brothers to the spotlight and never letting them go. And although pain and sorrow plagued the family, the one thing that never seemed to leave the hearts of the American people was the words spoken by John F. Kennedy on the day of his inaugural speech.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
This has been the Kennedy Point of Divergence.